Hey guys, welcome back to an episode by BW2 to an actual LEGO tutorial, which I haven't done in like 6 years, but you know, I just thought that this one was pretty cool and important, and I figured it out completely by myself, and I figured a lot of you might want to build one of these too. So it is for the set, I can't remember the set number right off the top of my head, but it is for the LEGO Star Wars Slave One 20th Anniversary Edition. Of course, you guys know a couple videos ago I showed off all the I'm not like only into collecting like minifigures nowadays, but I decided to get a few ginormous sets, and this was one of them. So yeah, so this one I believe just retired, so if you don't have it right now, I don't know if you're still able to get it, but it is pretty cool because it actually comes with this little fold out handle right here, which I don't know if you can really see that there, but yeah, you can see it folds out right there, which that is actually very useful for what we're doing today because, as you guys know, I've had it displayed like so on my shelf over there, just like how it would usually sit down, like how it lands and whatnot, so you can access the little cargo bay back here to put Han Solo frozen in carbonite in. But it looks cool and whatnot, but I mean, you guys know the flying position is up like that and whatnot. Yeah, and it's just a lot better like that because you can see a lot more of the ship, and it just, in my opinion, looks a lot more cool like that. But it doesn't come with a stand. The UCS one, the Ultimate Collector Series one, does, but that one is ginormous, and I honestly probably would have got that one, but it was retired, because I just got this a couple months ago, like 2.5 months ago or whatever. But I built a stand for mine right there. And this one is completely my own design, and I honestly truly believe that this is the best one because I watched a couple of other videos, and why I believe it's the best one is because this one, all of the other ones, like, you have to like actually connect it. You either have to take some pieces off the back of the set to connect it, and then you have to like use like you actually have to connect it via studs or whatever, so you actually, it's like a lot more to just take it off and on and whatnot if you want to actually use it. Of course, I just use it for display and whatnot. Yeah. But mine, you're actually able to very easily take it off and on with these two little pins, which I just took these two little, little X parts, as you can see. I don't know what they're really called, the Technic X parts, and I took those two little end pieces. You guys probably know those. Right there, and I just put those on there. Those don't really have to be there, but I don't know, extra grip, and you can kind of just put them in one direction or the other. And if you don't want to put them in and kind of balance them, or you don't have to balance them, but just kind of center them or whatever, you can just push them all the way in until they reach that. But we'll show that in a second. But for right now, this is the stand. So I'm going to kind of show you how to build it. Yeah, so first off, if you guys are wondering how to actually equip it and unequip it to the stand, I'll show you that real quick. Alright, so how you're going to equip it to the stand is, you can see these two Technic slide things up there, and you're going to actually use the built-in handle. That's what's really nice about the 20th Anniversary Edition, is of course the built-in handle. And luckily this thing's built like a tank, so we can pretty much just hold it however we want. Yeah, so it actually does come with this handle right here, which you can just pull out like that and hold it like kind of like a pistol grip type thing. And yeah, it gives it like the most swooshability out of any set I've ever seen, if you actually like play with it or whatever. But of course, I just get it for display because I'm a geek and I like Star Wars ships and stuff. Yeah, so but we're going to actually use that. So you just take out the handle like so, and as you can see, it is too wide right there, two of those Technic pieces wide. You'll know if you have the set. But what you're gonna go ahead and do is, I just like to hold it by that right there. It's a stem. This whole thing is like Technic. A lot more LEGO sets incorporate Technic, I've noticed, and this and like the Razor Crest are built like absolute tanks. But yeah, what you're gonna do is, as you can see, you're gonna slide that in between those two things like that until you kind of just match up the circles, and then you're gonna take one of the pins and then you just slide it into there, and you kind of just gotta wiggle it around until it slides in. And then you just push that all the way through, and then put one all the way in the top, so they're actually 3 apart, and then you just get that in there, and then you can pretty much just, you can display a little farther back actually too. This one does have a little customizability. You can put it right there, but I like to pull it all the way forward, and just equip it like that. And as you can see, it is now fully equipped right there. And as you can see, it has a little bit of wiggability. It wiggles a little bit, but like you can shake that a little bit. It's Technic, it's not going to fall apart or anything. And yeah, so not only is it really strong, it's probably one of the most stable that I've seen. And as you can see, it puts it at just like the perfect angle in my opinion. That is the angle right there. Yeah, pretty darn nice. I wanted it just the right angle that I like it to be at, and that is right there. And as you can see, if we do a little spin around there, that is how it is. So yeah, and of course, like I was saying, you can actually slide it back just a little bit using the built-in stand, and you can put it like up to there too, just if you want to have it a little more straight. But I just like to pull it all the way out and make sure it is like that. And it's also an even bigger base, so I mean really it's bigger than it even needs to be, so no matter what, that is not going to fall over. And then now you have it nice and displayable, and it only raises it up about 2 studs width or height. So if you're like trying to put it under something or whatever, it really does not add that much height, although at this point it is pretty tall. Yeah, and of course it has the automatic gyroscoping seat or gyroscope type seat in there for Boba Fett to sit on, that turns the level that it's at, and as well as the wings. As you can see, they turned that, which I think is a really cool feature of the set as well. But now I'm going to show you how it's built real quick. Alright, one quick thing before I do that, I forgot, is how to take it off. So if you just want to take it off to move it, I mean you can move it, you can just pick it up with a stand like that and put it back down, or if you want like that. But if you want to like take it off for whatever reason, all you have to do is just pull the 2 pins out, and then there you go. You can use the handle again. You can use the handle again right like that, or you can just push it down and use it as a regular set, and that just of course goes perfectly flush with that and everything. And then yeah, you have the set right there. So yeah, so now to show you how it's built. Alright, so now we're going to show you how it is built if you want to build your own. So of course, I already showed how these little peg things are made, the little pins or whatever you want to call them. Those are pretty darn simple to make. But the actual stand itself is basically, I'm not going to take it fully apart, but I can pretty much show you how it's made other than that. So basically, as you can see, this is the whole structure right there is as wide as this piece right here, which as you can see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so you don't even have to put this. I just put this for extra stability, I guess. But basically, the pad you can build however you want. It doesn't. It basically just has to be big enough to be able to hold the weight of the structure to make sure it doesn't topple over or whatever. As I said before, I made mine a little like wider than it even needs to be. So yeah, you don't have to have the same exact design or anything. I just made mine look like that. And you pretty much just connect it to the bottom of the structure. But the main thing that we're looking at here is like from my finger upwards. Yeah. So basically, you want to take 2 of these. They're just like regular Lego bricks, but with the holes in the sides there. As you can see right there, that one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you want to take 2 of those pieces with 9 holes in them. Of course, there's one on both sides there. And then on top of that, I just put one of these big ol' square base plates right there. And if you need to pause or whatever, you can count how many studs are on that. Again, not super needed, but it does add a lot of rigidness to it. And then I just connected this to the top, just to add some more of that gray and black aesthetic, and just to make it even stronger. But in between that, I put this little base plate in there, and then on top of that I put I don't know why you can see that, but it's like a gray 2x2 brick just to hold it back there, so it's not like it's more solid, so you can push on this and it doesn't bend in at all or whatever. Again, not super needed, but extra rigidity or whatever. So yeah, so then on this I took 2 of these gray pieces with holes in them, as you can see right there. And those ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those ones have 6 holes in there, and you'll need 2 of those. You just connect those side by side right there. And then you want to take 2 of these like kind of bent pieces right there, Technic pieces, and those have like the crosses on that end as well as that end up there, and they are bent. They have like the 4 holes right, or the 3 holes in the cross right there, and then up here they have the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 holes, and then the cross on the top. And then in between there you can see that I put a little Technic cross piece, just connecting those, and those go through the black pieces as well as those. Those don't really hold on to anything, but they definitely just kind of make it so that it doesn't like bend back or anything at all. Yeah, and then I basically just connected those. I took the little black Technic pieces, you probably know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I just took those and connected them in there. I put one in there, connected it to that gray piece, as well as that right there into that gray piece, and then I basically just put that whole structure in between that and connected them. And then if you connected them on the same holes that I did right there, if you want to pause that or anything, it should get that same structure. So basically it has a lot of leverage, so it won't push back or anything. So these are definitely crucial pieces. Yeah, and then the main thing holding the structure is these 2 pieces right up top here. Basically those are really simple. Just on the inside of these 2 bricks, you just connect them using 2 of those black pieces that I was just talking about, that you just slide into those pieces right there, and then you just take the 2 bottom holes on one of these, which as you can see is one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hole Technic pieces right there. And yeah, you just basically push those on like so. You probably know how to do that. But yeah, so I believe that's basically it. And then pretty much just try to make it as rigid as you can if you need to change anything. Yeah, and then pretty much once you connect it at that same height, it will pretty much sit on the floor, like the front of the slave one sits like right there. So yeah, so if you build that up, of course it might not work, but if you just keep it like level, it will work fine how I have it. Or if you like add a couple studs on top of that, like it will sit fine on top of that one as well. But yeah, that's basically it. So hopefully if you need to pause or anything, get some like good shots there to if you need to pause, because I would take it fully apart, but yeah, I just I'm not sure that I want to, because I don't know, it's just Technic taking it apart and whatnot, putting it back together is not too fun. And yeah, but if you need to know anything, just comment down below and I can definitely help you out if you need to figure out how something how to do this. But I actually usually just pause on videos and figure it out myself. But yeah, this one I actually built completely by myself, so that's pretty much it for the build. And once you do that, then you got yourself a build or a stand for the Slave 1. And I just really felt that the Slave 1 needed it because it's just like most of the other Lego Star Wars ships, like you can pretty much just put them down and that's how they land. Like the Razor Crest is flat, but it has landing gear and everything. And it's pretty much just how it looks. And the Slave 1, that is how it lands, just flat like that. But I mean, it just looks so much more cool in flight position. So I will show you it now on display, and then you can decide if you want to build it for yourself or not for your 20th anniversary Slave 1 set. Alright, so as you can see there, we have it on display. As you can see, I moved around some stuff. Finally moved my speaker thing up there, or it used to be up there. It's been with like my lamp and my alarm clock forever. Finally moved that. But yeah, that's my new kind of entertainment system right there, even though it's not much of an entertainment system. That's over in this corner. But yeah, so that's just how it looks now. Yeah, as you can see, it is right here. It looks very nice on display, in my opinion. I think it looks better. I think it looks cool while it's flat down, but while it's up there, I do still think that it looks even more cool. But yeah, of course, the only other set that I have over here is the Royal Talon Fighter from Black Panther. Yeah, and it is right there. And of course you do want to watch out for the wings, just in case you're putting it right next to anything else, because it might look fine right here, but I do have to make sure that, it was fine clearance with my my record player here. As you can see, it looks like it's gonna hit, but it's fine. Yeah, so that is that right there. So yeah, so now over here, of course, this is where I did have my slave one. Also, I'll show some pictures of like before and after and whatnot. And then of course I've got my Han Solo and Carbonite that came with the slave one, as well as the Princess Leia connected to the Han Solo Mud Trooper exclusive figure. But yeah, and if you guys also want to build this, I built a little stand for this. It actually holds them at an angle, and it just kind of looks like the kind of the aesthetic of the Carbonite freezing chamber from Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, I just think that looks really cool, but pretty darn simple to build. But yeah, if you just want to kind of screenshot that or whatever, and yeah, I just think that's really cool display. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, so that's kind of that updated section, and yeah, it just looks absolutely beautiful. And then now over here looks really awesome, and the slave one right there, of course. And if you guys were wondering if it fits over here, it does actually fit over here. It fits on that shelf right there, and it fits on this shelf as well. The only reason I didn't is because like it just fits, so like it's really hard to see like the whole top of the slave one. Like it's basically like if you look at it and it's like that kind of, so it's just not really that aesthetically pleasing, I don't think. And also the wings are a pretty cool looking design, and if you come over here, like you can still see the top of them. Of course you can tilt them down a little bit, but I don't know, that's just not how it really flies, so I just put them all the way up until they stop. But yeah, over here you can just get the full beauty of the set. But yeah, that is pretty much it for that. So make sure to like and subscribe, and this is also the first video of 2020 or 2021, surprisingly. I thought I was going to be continuing with the Cyberpunk 2077 series, but that will come after this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and our little break from the Cyberpunk 2077 series, playthrough series, but now we will be getting back to that for a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.